So exciting to be recording a video for my channel. I think it's been probably a good month since I've recorded. Haven't recorded since I've had this hair in, that's for sure. I think I've had this hair in, these dreads that I'm loving, for about 3 weeks now. So yeah, I don't even know what to talk about, where I'm gonna start, because I have just been going through this whole renewing journey, and it's not easy, but it is so rewarding right now. And I just don't know, but I do want to say that this is absolutely necessary in motherhood. A constant renewal and refreshing, and just letting go of bad habits and dropping stuff, and like renewing your soul is so necessary in motherhood and in marriage. Like, I'm loving this person that I am becoming. I will say this, like, I'm going through this phase of like creating this non-toxic, wholesome, holistic mind, body, soul glow up life. Like, I'm really getting a grip on the mommy glow up right now, and everything that is required. Like, so what have I been doing? Been spending time with God every morning, all throughout the day. That's what I've been doing, because moment of truth, I had my husband and I finally had like a counseling session, and during that counseling session, my eyes were just open to a lot of things. And the number one thing is that I was dealing with unforgiveness, and it was filling my heart with horrible things. It had filled my heart with horrible things. So all this time, when I couldn't understand why I couldn't move forward, why my life was repeating and going in cycles, why I kept going through the same things, which is cycles, the feelings and the emotions, and I was allowing my emotions to control me and my feelings to control my life, and what people said and what people did to me to control me. I was dealing with unforgiveness from childhood, like just some things I've gone through with my parents, some seeds that have been planted that trickled over into my marriage, and just trickled over into kind of taking over everything. So it's like the weeds that grow in the yard that the people don't like, and they go spray the whatever the spray is. The name will come to me later, but they go spray the stuff that gets rid of the weeds and go pull up the weeds. And we do that. Why? Because we are making room for new, green, fresh, plush grass and flowers and stuff like that. And then it's no coincidence that it's fall. So, you know, during the fall time, as we transition from summer to fall, the leaves start to change, and the leaves start to fall off the trees, and preparing itself, it goes bare to prepare itself for new leaves and new fruit and new flowers, you know, the springtime. So I'm going through the fall season right now. I went through I was going through like the summer phase where it was like super hot. I couldn't stand it or take it. Now I'm going through fall, where I'm just allowing all the bad things to fall off of me. So when, you know, my season of springtime comes, fall, I skipped winter. Fall, everything is falling off, and winter is like that prep time. And then, you know, spring is like that time where everything comes back renewed and refreshed. That is how my life is right now. That is how my glow up is right now. And for some reason, as I spend time with God and I become aware and change some things, my mind keeps going back to a field. And like, my life is a field right now, and I'm just assessing. My arm hurting, y'all. Ooh, why is it hurting? Maybe because I haven't done this in so long. Like, so my life is a field right now, and that's how I see my life. Like, and I'm looking at all the things that have been planted, like the seeds, and then the different rows, you know, like when they plant for like fruit and vegetables and garden and stuff like that, they have like these rows. Like here in Florida, we have orange groves, which is becoming very rare now, and it sucks, but we have orange groves. So when we ride past orange groves, we see rows and rows of trees. So obviously, when those seeds were being planted to grow those trees, you know, they had to like plow, and okay, they had to prepare the land, so that's plowing and getting all the dirty stuff out and preparing the soil, and then they go plant, right? And then, you know, they water. So that's how I see my life. Like, I'm plowing the field and I'm uprooting right now, releasing my heart to God, releasing like this unforgiveness. And y'all, it feels so good. Like, oh my gosh, like I was dealing with so much unforgiveness that had led to like resentment and anger and fear and entitlement and validation. Like, I was dealing with all of these things and I didn't even realize it. So now that I know that, you know, my worth is in God, like God created me in his image, I have the mind of Christ. This life that I'm living should not be this way, because this does not portray an image of God. Like, when you think about God, his spirit, Jesus, how Jesus' life was, and then, you know, I'm not living that life. My life does not show an image of God. So that was very powerful for me, like, alone. So now, like, y'all, I just can't, like, this is the real glow up. So when the idea came to me about the Mommy Glow Up, I didn't understand it then. But now I'm getting a grip on it. I'm understanding what my purpose really is. Like, the healing that I'm experiencing right now is unbelievable. And to know that I'm going to be able to help other moms heal gives me so much joy. That's why I know that this process is required and I have to keep going, because healing is required in myself and in my household, in my marriage, over my children. Like, this whole toxic free thing that I don't need any weeds in is happening in my life. So I'm becoming aware of purpose. Like, I did a video on Mother's Day about, you know, we are talking about like our only job is not to be a mom. And I'm really understanding that now too. Because sometimes when I talk about stuff and I post videos, I don't even know. Like, it's just, I'm allowing God to speak. And it's when I have something on my heart and I feel like I need to speak to someone, get it out to bless somebody. But sometimes when I have those talks and I post things, most of the time I don't understand, and the understanding doesn't come until later, like right now. So I'm really getting a grip on what the Mommy Glow Up really means, like what the glow up really is. Like, the glow up is the light of Christ. Like, I am the light on top of the mountain. I am that candle that is constantly flickering and lighting up the room. I am the salt. Like, I am the taste. Like, think about when you turn on a light and the room lights up. Like, that's me. I light up a room. Like, I ain't trying to be in the darkness. I'm lighting up the rooms of so many mothers' hearts. So many, I'm lighting up the room of so many marriages. I'm lighting up the room of, like, just so many things, y'all. That's who I am. And I'm not afraid to say that now. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Like, that's all I could do is thank God, because nobody else could have done this for me but God and me putting in the work. Nobody else could have done this for me. Nobody else could have brought the awareness for me. Like, it's up to me to say yes, and I say yes in my heart. I say yes in my heart, and then I said yes to just me and living life on purpose, and that's all that I wanted to do. Like, that's what we're here for. We're not here to live for anybody else but God. When we live for God and say yes to God, then we can understand that our life is really not about us. Our life is to touch so many other people. And I listened to a sermon this morning about spiritual identity, and that's what she was saying. She was like, when we're not alignment, we think about a track. Like, think about being a train, or when a door or a drawer, kitchen drawer, whatever, gets off the track, what happens? It's hard to push the drawer back in, or fix the door, or push the door open. And that's how we are when we are not walking in our spiritual identity, when we're not doing what God has called us to do, when we are not walking in the image of God and understanding that we are made in his image. Like, just think, like, we are throwing so many people's lives off the track because our alignment is so jacked. So think about your marriage, your spouse, your children. Like, when I had this counseling session a couple weeks ago, after that session, I was like, Lord, I just thank you, because I had thrown my husband's track off alignment, like off of the alignment, because when I thought I was loving him, I really wasn't, because I wasn't forgiving him. I hadn't released a lot of things like I thought I did. So here I am with my husband's heart, and I'm just throwing him all off, not even realizing that I set the tone for my household, period. As the woman, I set the tone. So if I'm setting the tone, my tone was like throwing everybody off track. Who wants that? Who really wants a life like that? I was like, oh my God. I'm just like, forgive me, Lord. I would never do it again. Like, I just don't, like, I was just, oh my God, I was crying out. Like, oh my God, my life has to change. And sometimes that's what it takes. Like, you have to get in front of other people. You have to seek help. You have to, like, y'all, it's amazing. And to really start to understand that I am made in the image of God. I have the mind of Christ. And when you think about the mind of Christ, the mind of God, Genesis, God said, you will read that throughout the whole chapter 1. God said, let there be light, and there was light. He said, let there be just everything. And that's the power that we have. We can speak things. That's who we are. So that's why it's important to watch what you say, because what you think really is still what you're thinking is still talking. So it's just not coming physically out of your mouth, but your thoughts create. So even if you're thinking something but it's not physically coming out, it still can manifest. So what are you thinking? What do you want for your life? What do you need for your life? What do you want for your marriage or children? What do you want for your future? Like, speak it, because we have the power. Like, I've been saying every morning, I have the mind of Christ. I have the mind of Christ. So even when we go through things where we don't understand or whatever, I have the mind of Christ, meaning that God is going to help me deal with it all. Like, as long as I constantly speak life, that's what's going to happen to me, life. But I'm going to be the light in the darkness. That's what my life is going to be, because Jesus was the light in the darkness. He died for us. God didn't have to send him to do that. God sent his only child. I got 3. I can't imagine sending one of them to die for anybody. Like, so who do you know is going to do that for you? Like, it's just important, y'all, to really know who we are. And that's the grip on the Mommy Glow Up for me. Like, I didn't understand the Mommy Glow Up until this very moment, like this morning when I was studying. And y'all, I'm just thankful and I'm grateful. So that's what's been going on. I was gonna do a video and talk about our identity and how it affects our marriage, but I'll do that in another talk. Y'all, I quit coffee, so I know I quit coffee for about a week because I was dealing with some health issues, but now it doesn't control me anymore. And that's another thing, just realizing things that were taking control in my life, like coffee. I was drinking coffee every day, all day, sick as a dog, dealing with all kind of health issues, but did not want to put that coffee down, y'all. So it's things like this that we are allowing to control our life when really we are in control. Like, that's another part of your identity. Know that nothing controls you, nothing controls your spirit, nothing controls your heart. It's what you're saying yes to, and what you're allowing to control your heart and your spirit. So when we think we don't have control, really we do, because we have a sound mind. We have power and authority. Sound mind means self-control. So all you have to do is position yourself to be in control of your life and what's going on. And that requires saying yes to God and say, okay, God, you're in control, whatever you need me to do. That's where the control starts. So when I thought I couldn't quit coffee, I'm like, child, I don't like how I'm feeling. I'm putting it down. And I did it. So now I'm drinking coffee like once or twice a week. It's not even every day. And I realize that I don't have to have it every day. These are the things that we are allowed to embed in our minds, and we think we need things when we really don't. That's how we lose a foundation and we get in the position of being unforgiving and allowing fear and resentment and all this stuff to take over. Is because we let someone else have the control of our lives. That is not the glow up, okay? That is not who you are. Nobody controls you but the Lord, okay? So I'm done preaching. I'm saying this because this is so important. This is so important if you want a life that you can truly love. Like, and I really can't put that in any other way. I really can't, but that's what's been going on. So the glow up has been happening, and yeah, so I'm gonna be back with some videos every week, just talking about what has been happening in my life, and just to share some testimonies and some words of encouragement. It's time, y'all. It is time for me to step up on this stage of mine, this platform that God has provided for me. And it is time for me to help people heal. So remember to glow. Remember to affirm yourself. Remember to do what makes you happy. Glow. Remember to glow. You are the light that lights up the room. So are you being the light, or are you being the darkness? Simple. So remember to do what makes you happy, because we cannot pour from an empty cup. Love you all, and I will be back.